What's going on, guys? It's KingTutsPro back with another Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial. Guys, in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys the top 10 video editing techniques that you guys can go ahead and use for your vlogs. Let's get started. Alright guys, so this video is sponsored by Rampant Design Tools. If you guys want to go ahead and check them out, a link will be down in the description of this video. If you guys want to go ahead and purchase any of the style kits that you guys want to use on your video projects, be sure to check them out. They have video effects from essentials such as edit essentials, they have motion graphic essentials, flare essentials, they even have a whole bunch of other really cool Rampant products such as animated mats, royalty free music that you guys can go ahead and use in your video projects. They have transitions, backgrounds, distortion. They also have Final Cut Pro 10 templates that you guys can go ahead and use, which is probably what I'm going to be using in this video anyways. They also have film and light, motion graphics, Premiere Pro, and Mogart file templates, which is pretty nice. They also have Adobe Premiere Pro templates, style kits, which is the one I'm going to be using, and visual effects. They also have other stuff as well. Be sure to check them out there. But I'm going to go ahead and go into the Final Cut Pro 10 templates. When you guys are in the Final Cut Pro 10 templates, they have different cool, interesting stuff here. From movie trailer to modern slideshows to a glitch intro. They also have the Rampant Final Cut Pro 10 Essentials, which is really cool. They also have transition effects, matte effects as well. They have soft light overlays, which are really cool and make your video a lot more interesting and a way to spice up your clips. Be sure to check them out. A link will be down in the description so you guys can go ahead and check them out. Alright guys, so coming in at number 1 is color grading or color correcting your video in Final Cut Pro 10. If you guys have the latest version of Final Cut Pro 10 10.4, which is the version that I'm using right now, you guys can go ahead and use the trial version, of course. Everything will be linked down in the description. Now, this video is from This Is L&S. We're going to go ahead and color grade or color correct this really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the inspector window here, and if you're running on the latest version of Final Cut Pro 10, you're going to have a new icon that looks like this. It kind of looks like a triangle. Click on that, and this will go ahead and show up the color board. Now, if you're running an older version of Final Cut Pro 10, don't worry, you guys can still color grade or color correct your video with the color board. Now, the color board does limit you because you can only change certain things, and it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility. So you have the color, you have saturation to go ahead and make the colors a little bit more vibrant or less saturated. Then you have the exposure, or make it more vibrant. You also have the exposure, which pretty much controls the darkness and lightness of this video. I'm going to be working with the color wheels. You guys can go to the color curves on your own time, but I'm just going to be focusing on this for now. So this is exactly the same thing that you guys will find in the color board, except the only difference is that it's in a wheel and it allows you to get a higher range of colors. So in this case, I think we can make the colors a lot more interesting. So we're going to go into these shadows and we're going to make this a little bit more, I'm going to go with a little bit of a reddish tone here, so a little bit red. And on the left here, you're going to see a little triangle that goes from this pretty much controls the hue and saturation of this. So if you click and drag this up, this will make it very saturated or very desaturated. If you go into the highlights, you can do the same thing. So maybe I want to get a little bit more or pink, and I'm going to go ahead and just drag this up a little bit. And you can also control the luminance, which is pretty much the brightness and darkness of this. So I'm going to drag this down to give it a little bit more contrast. And if you go to the midtones, this will also control the mids in between the shadows and highlights. So everything that isn't the shadows and highlights will affect it. So maybe we want a little bit to the blue. And then in the temperature here, you can go ahead and make this a little bit more blue if it was like filmed at night, or you can drag it to the right to make it a little bit more warm. So coming in at number 2 are the LUTs, or the custom LUTs. Right now I have the color wheel selected. I'm going to disable this. You can see the before and the after of what we've done in the color wheel. But let's say we want to change the whole entire color space of this video, or the color profile, sorry. If you're running on the latest version of Final Cut Pro 10 10.4, Apple has introduced a new setting which is called the custom LUT. So if you guys go to the effects, you go to all video and audio, and you look up the LUT here, and you're going to have a custom LUT which is already inside of the newest version of Final Cut. Drag that on top. Now if you guys don't have the latest version of Final Cut Pro 10, I made a video showing you guys how to install custom LUTs, link in the description. So once you guys are here, all you have to do is go to the custom LUT here and click on show. So right now we don't have anything set, as you can see, but if you go to the LUT right here, and right now it says none, click on that and we can choose some that we've already have imported, or you guys can go ahead and choose a custom LUT. I will leave a free LUT in the description, which is the one I'm going to show you guys in today's video. And go ahead and select it, and you can see how a LUT can really change your video. Right now it's really exaggerated, so we can turn down the mix here. So we click on the mix and we drag this down. We can go from no LUT to a LUT, and you can see how drastic this makes it look, and it looks so much better in my opinion if you add LUTs to your vlogs, and it makes it look a lot more cinematic, a lot more crisp, and a lot more pleasing to the eye. Coming in at number 3 are speed ramps. Speed ramps, pretty much another word for slow motion. This could be completely different, but speed ramps are a little bit more complicated. In this case, I'm just going to show you guys a very basic version of a speed ramp, which is pretty much just cutting a certain part in the clip and then speeding it up again to normal speed. So right as he jumps, I'm going to press B and click here to cut that, and then I'm going to go a couple of frames in when he is in midair. I would suggest you guys always film your vlogs in 60 frames per second. If you don't, you're going to get that very laggy look to your video if you filmed it in 30 frames right there. And I'm going to select this clip here. I'm going to go to the timer option, go to slow, and go to the, I can go 50% or 25%. I'm going to go 50%. It's like that, right? But I want it to be a little bit more smoother. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go down to the bottom and go to video quality and change that to optical flow. You can see how it's a lot more smoother. Alright guys, so coming in at number 4 are the transitions. Transitions are very easy to use. Now I'm going to be using a custom transition provided by Nangle. You guys can go ahead and subscribe to his channel, link in the description, along with the transitions that you guys can go ahead and install for Final Cut Pro 10. It's very easy to do. A link to a tutorial will be down in the description as well. So if we go into the transition, these are all the transitions that I downloaded, and these are for free for the most part. So we have a couple here that I want to go ahead and apply between this clip and this one. I did cut out where they have like a map transition, which is pretty nice to use. It also separates a time difference between a location. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the transitions, and I'm going to look for one that looks interesting, okay? And I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to drag that here. All right, guys, so if I push play, this is what it's going to look like.
And so we went to the new house, guys. So we just...
Sweet, so it looks all right, right? So we can always add sound effects to make it look a lot smoother. All right, guys, so coming in at number 5 are the style kits. Now, style kits can make your video or your vlog a lot more interesting. And what I mean by that is, if you guys download and purchase a style kit, a link will be down in the description, so you guys can go ahead and buy one and try it out for yourself. And these are just two examples of what you guys can purchase. So I have one for the sports. It's by Rampant. They have a whole bunch of selections for Final Cut Pro 10, Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere Pro. I think it's Motion 5 as well. They have a whole bunch of videos like this. So they have stuff like that is pre-animated, as you can see. They have some that go like that, so you can add like titles and stuff like that. You also have, so these come from the, I believe it's the sport one, or the fitness one, and this one looks really cool. It just makes it a lot interesting, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you guys download and purchase this, a link is in the description. Once you import it into Final Cut Pro 10, I'm going to show you guys how to use both of these. So this one is looks like a, I don't know the actual name of this, but it looks like a film, like an old camera film look, which is cool. You guys can use this as a transition as well. I'm going to delete that one and drag it in between here, between these two clips. And I scale this up, so I go here and I scale this up so it fits the whole frame. I click on done, and I go to the inspector window, and I go to the blend mode, and I change this to, I think it's screen. You guys can see how this looks. So if I go ahead and push play.
So we went to the new house, guys. So we just got to Marshall.
You can see how you can add that, or kind of like make a quick little transition there. So if I drag this one here, and I drag this, it can be anywhere. I'm gonna drag this onto this other video here. And I'm going to scale this up here so it fits the whole frame. Click on done, and I go to the inspector window, and I change the blend mode to screen. Now if I push play,
we literally just found like the best dog bed. Like,
it adds a kind of like that scratch filmy look, as you can see, which looks really cool in a cinematic vlog, or if you're doing a montage, you can do this as well. And this looks super awesome. Guys, so coming in at number 6 are the text and titles. So adding text or titles to a vlog makes it look a lot better and a lot interesting, in my opinion. So here we have Landon and Shyla just talking in the car about something. So I want to go ahead and just make an introduction with text or titles. So right here where it starts.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to This Is LNS. If you're new,
so I'm going to add their channel name to the title here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the titles and generators tab at the top here, and you have titles and generators. Titles and generators are completely different. So go to the titles here, and I like to always go with the custom title one, because these are presets that I've already installed into Final Cut Pro 10, but you guys won't have that. But if you go to the bottom and you select custom, this is the one I always add. So drag this to the time head there to edit where you want. Once you are here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go into the inspector window here, and I'm going to go ahead and select the text, and I'm going to click on this with the lines there, and I'm going to change this to sweet. So now that looks all right. It doesn't look the best. So I'm going to change this to bold, and I can make the font choice a lot better. So I'm going to make the size a lot bigger here. Add a transition. So go to the transitions here, go to the dissolves, and I'm going to drag a cross dissolve. So now if I go ahead and render this out, so go to modify and render selection.
what's going on, guys? Welcome back to This Is LNS. If you're new here, my name is Landon.
I'm Shyla.
It looks a lot interesting. Coming in at number 7 are the infamous jump cuts. We all know a lot of people like jump cuts and a lot of people don't like jump cuts. But personally, I'm a fan of jump cuts as long as you don't overdo it. So this is an example of a jump cut. So if I go ahead and push play,
More space.
Just to be
that's a jump cut, that would work perfectly. Okay, so in this case, right here, I believe, in my opinion, there's a lot of areas where they could easily just cut that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it just so you guys can see how this would look. So
a dog.
It's just too cluttered.
so right there is where I would go ahead and just add the first cut with the blade tool, and then I'm gonna go to looks like right there. So now if I go ahead and select that and delete it, and I push play,
Dog.
It's just too cluttered.
Just to be
that is a jump cut right there. Very easy to do. I'm pretty sure anyone can do this. All right, guys. So coming in at number 8 is the cutaway shot. So if you guys are not familiar with a cutaway shot is pretty much a shot or a clip that is not in the main scene, but otherwise away from the scene or in a different scene. So, or a complete different scene. So in this case, Shyla is talking about how they didn't find anything at Marshall's, and they're leaving the store, right? So we can go to a cutaway shot of them previously in Marshall's or in that store, and then go back to the car shot or the main scene. So to do that, it's very simple. All you got to do, honestly, just go select anywhere from what she was talking about. Once you have it copied and cut, just paste it in between this clip here, or whatever clip you're going to be using, of course. So now if I go ahead and push play.
All right, guys, we didn't really find anything that we liked at Home Goods / Marshalls. Could we get it, please? So
that is a cutaway shot. It's really easy to do, and it just makes the vlog a lot more interesting. So coming in at number 9 are the intro and outro clips, or intro and outro. So if you guys have an intro and an outro, that is a huge plus when it comes to vlogs, because you always want to introduce yourself in a vlog, of course. You know, people got to know what your channel is about and what the vlog is and who you are. So that is a good intro. It doesn't always have to be like a graphic, okay? It doesn't have to be that necessarily. It can be anything you want. So the outro is the pretty much ending of the vlog here, and you can see how they executed this perfectly, because it says to be continued, which keeps the viewer on their feet to keep them reminded of when to watch the vlog, right? And then you can see how it keeps going on to, this is an LNS, the channel that you just watched, or the video that you just watched, and then it shows you guys to subscribe, which is an excellent outro in my opinion. So they also added an intro here, which is a video. This also counts as an intro because it fits the channel perfectly, because it's more of like a couple channel, if that makes sense, and it works perfectly in my opinion. You don't have to start the vlog immediately with an intro. The way they did it was just cutting a certain part from the vlog in the beginning and then adding their intro next, which is a smart move in my opinion. All right, guys, so coming in at number 10, which is the last video technique that I want to show you guys, and that is honestly just making your editing experience in Final Cut Pro 10 a lot more usable, if that makes sense, because a lot of you guys do tell me that when you're editing in Final Cut Pro 10, it's very laggy, especially when you're adding music, you're adding effects, transitions, color grading, text and titles. A lot of stuff in the timeline can get very cluttered easily. What I would always suggest you guys do when you import your vlogs is that before you import it or after, it doesn't really matter, but if you guys go to file and you go to import media and then you select the clip, so let's go ahead and select the clip, which is this one, the vlog. So before I even select it, I can go, or once you have it selected, go into the transcoding and you can select create proxy media. Now if you guys didn't select this when importing, you're totally fine. It's not the end of the world. All you got to do is right click on it, okay, and go to the transcode media, then click on create proxy media and click on OK. So it makes the editing experience a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. Now if you guys don't do this, especially when it's a very long vlog, it will really show in the timeline, and it will be really slow when you're editing transitions or cutting stuff. And that's what I would suggest you guys do. It does take a little bit of time to go ahead and transcode and analyze the video for proxy media, but once you guys are ready to export, be sure to, if you're running on the older version of Final Cut Pro 10, to go into the view option and change the quality or the media to back to optimized media. Once you have the video set as a proxy media, you want to change this as well. Go to the view, go to media, and go to proxy. So the video is using a proxy, not the optimized, which makes it usually a lot slower. So when you're ready to export, just click optimize media. But in the newest version of Final Cut Pro 10, once you go to file and share and then master file, Final Cut Pro 10 will let you know that it is in a proxy file if you have the proxy media selected. So that is a nice feature that Apple has introduced. So if you guys found this tutorial helpful in any way, be sure to leave a like. I'm sorry it was a little bit long, but I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful nonetheless. Be sure to subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.